Hello everyone, welcome back to LWC course series. And today in day 12, we are going to talk and discuss interview questions related to the constructor. While discussing the interview questions related to constructor, I will be giving you the practical explanation and the reference of the Salesforce official documentation so that if in case you are appearing for the interview, you should answer the question with full confidence, extreme clear thought, and if you're working in a project, you should be working as per the recommended Salesforce best practices. So let me start with the first question. The first question is, can we update properties inside the constructor? And answer is yes. Let me go here and show you. This is the new component, learn LWC. The no extra line of the code other than the standard one. And I am going to, declare a property, let's say with the name as course. Okay. This is the declaration of the property. Okay. And now constructor, as the very first line of the code, the code inside the constructor should be super. So I'm using it. This I have already explained to you in the previous episode. Now first see that what is the value of the course. Now I ask you this question, that what is the value of the property course right now. So right now the value is undefined. Undefined. Okay. Reason. I have declared this property here without providing any value to this property. Okay. Declaration done. Initialization is yet pending. Okay. So when I have declared, that means the property is available, the property, or you can say, the container is available, which is having nothing inside. When I say nothing, then it means undefined. Okay. So now the second question, you may ask me that why we are using this dot here. So because the course property is outside the constructor block. Okay. This is, this is available globally, right? So to refer anything which is available globally inside your method, okay, constructor or any other method, you have to use this dot, and that, and then the property name. Okay. Property name, variable name, method, right? Now let me, the update. So I updated this. I updated this property, okay, with LWC. That means I am providing the value as LWC inside the property. So, you will see at line number 13 console log as LWC. Let me save this code and let me deploy. Let me add this component. Let me save. Changes saved. See here. Current course, new course. Current course undefined. Sorry. Current course undefined. You can see here. And new course is LWC. Okay. Once again, I'm repeating. You declare this property, but since you haven't, during declaration, you haven't initialized the property. That's why it is having a value as undefined. Okay. Then you update it at line number 12, the same property with LWC. And that's why you are seeing, the LWC as a result. As I told you, I always put the code in a GitHub repository for you. So you need not to worry about it. I am going to provide this code in a GitHub repository. You can use it later on for your reference if in case you want. Let me do one thing, Ming. Just to, the proof you. So now, I have done a declaration and initialization. Okay, the spelling can be the wrong. So please avoid. I declared and I initialized. So that's why you will see, here the value as Salesforce. Now here you will see, you know, the updated value as Apex. Let me deploy. Control Shift R I'm doing, which is, the hard refresh means, I am just making sure the cache issue shouldn't appear. Let me close this once. See, okay. Any doubt till here? If you have any doubt, please let me know. Then otherwise I will proceed with the second question. Now, since we are talking about updating the property inside constructor, so they may ask you the question that can we update child components property inside the parent components constructor? Can we update child components property inside parent components constructor? Answer is no. Now, before the going in a the practical explanation, let me explain you so that you can remember throughout your life. We have we all know. Let me go with the we have parent, okay, and we have child, okay. Forget about the LWC concept. Let's talk about the universal truth. We all know that, I mean, we we all know that without the parents, child cannot come in this universe, right? That means there should be the proper existence of the parent in the universe, and then only the child will come. Now, understand, the question. What the question is saying. Can we update child components property inside the parent components constructor? And as I told you, the component, I mean the constructor means that the component loaded, instance created, but the component is yet to be entered into DOM and re-render, right? So, I mean let us take one more example. Okay. So let's say this is our parent component, and inside, I mean the parent component, we have some text, okay, images, etc., right? So in the constructor phase, as you will load your I mean your page, the component will, because the component is available on the page, just like here. The component is available here in the page, right? So in the constructor phase, it will basically just create an instance. Okay. What is pending? It is, the in the connected callback, the component will enter into a DOM, then it will re-render, and re-render means what you are seeing here: hi, hello, everything, right? So this is pending. That means your parent component itself is not ready. So how you can expect your child component will exist? This is not possible, right? First, your parent component will fully load, right? Then your child component will come in the picture. You're getting a point? Your parent component will enter into a DOM. At least, I mean, the parent component will enter into a DOM. Then your child component, I mean, they will be called, and then you can access the, I mean, the property or anything, I mean, then you can access your child component. In a simple layman language, if I say, your parent component cannot update the property inside the constructor of the child component, because first, the parent component itself is not ready. Parent component have to, I mean, the at least enter into a DOM. Then the child component re-render, till the re-render callback will be called. And after that, I mean, when the child component re-render callback will be called, then the parent re-render callback will be called, and then you can access the child component inside the parent component. So constructor is not the right phase for updating the child component or accessing the child component. Okay, let me show you now. So we have here parent component. Okay, and in the parent component, I am calling constructor. Okay, super method for sure. Okay, now this dot template dot query selector, c is a namespace, right? So this is, where we used to call we have to call, I mean, our child component inside the parent component. So Don't worry, I will explain you in depth. This is pending. Okay. Dot and your course. Okay. Now, just to, what I'm doing here is using this line of the code, I am trying to access my child component property course. Where? Inside my parent component constructor. So let me, okay, let me show you. And the error which, I will receive an error as soon as I will add this component using app builder. See, error during LWC component constructor phase. Okay, constructor phase. Cannot read properties of null. Reading course. So while reading, while you are accessing the course, you are getting null, and that means, it's not available. Okay. So you cannot read the property course right now in the constructor phase. Okay. Now, this is basically a JavaScript error. Okay. I will explain you, that what exactly this means, but let me show you. So in case, if you face this kind of the error, you can, let me tell you one more thing. You, because, you're seeing the name as a constructor here. Okay. So that is okay. But what if, if I change this connected with the connected callback or any other, the callback like read under callback. So you will see the same kind of error, but, just the name will change. The name means, there was a constructor, then it will show as a connected, phase. See, right? But the main, the meaning of the, the error is same. And where you are seeing the error? Parent component. So it's very easy to understand, in case if you experience this error, don't get frustrated, don't lose hope. And as I said, I will give you the complete explanation of this error so that, you will be 100% confident. Okay, now I master. But till now, let's understand this thing. If you see this error, please debug properly. Okay, this error means cannot read properties of null. That means, I'm referring to some property. Okay, which phase? Okay, connected phase. Okay, which component? Okay, property name. Okay, this is the problem. Let me deploy this again, and I will not see the error. See, Oh, sorry. Learn, no, parent. See, no error. Okay. Now, here, no error, right? Any confusion till here? Always remember, the parent component should be ready to access the child component. Okay? If the parent is not ready, fully rendered, then the you cannot access the child component. Now, what if the my component? I'm talking about my own component. So, what if my component is having some the buttons or any other element? Can we access those inside our constructor? So answer is yes. Let me the first. Now to access. Okay, so I have the button here. Okay, label is Brian outline. Okay, now I want to access this particular the button inside my constructor. So what I will do. Okay, lightning button. Okay, okay. Now the button is available. Now what I am doing is I am trying to access this but element, that's a lightning button inside my connector. Okay, so I will be able to see the value, but the value will be null. So ideally I cannot. Okay, now the answer is complete. So, I mean, you can, I mean, you won't get any error. You will not be getting any error, but you will get null. Okay, let me show you. Now, by any chance, because I mean, this is null right now. Okay, by any chance, if I put value here, I mean, I am trying to fetch the value of null, then I will get the error. See, cannot read properties of null, reading value. Okay, and the complete detail is available here. So if you see the error, like, I mean, the cannot read properties of null, reading, I mean, the value. So you understand that, I mean, you are trying to access the, I mean, the value of something which is null itself. And that's why you are getting an error. Okay. I will explain you. I mean, I mean, I will be uploading the new episode for, especially for the error. So don't worry. Okay. So you can simply say, no, sir, we cannot, because value will be null, which we cannot. Value will be not, which means we cannot access. Okay, that's why, I mean, I first say yes. Let me, I mean, show you that. Okay, Prashant, we are not getting any error, because in this particular, I mean, the question, we were getting the error even while, I mean, the adding the component. So we were not getting the error when we got the error. I mean, when we added the value, which means when we tried to get the value of null, then only we got the error. So that's why, I mean, I thought, I mean, let's go step by step. Otherwise, there will be a problem. Okay. Okay. Any question, any problem here? Any question? Any problem? No? Let's move with the another one. No, you are right at your point. Let let's I mean, move with the next question. So can we call apex method inside constructor? But, I mean, remember, Swati, remember one thing. Getting When you are getting null, okay. See, there's a difference between the undefined and the null. Undefined means that, I mean, there is something whose value is not defined yet, whose value we don't have any value. Null is equivalent to 1, 2, 3, or some other value, right? Which means you have, I mean, defined null to something. Okay. So let just take an example. A course equals to null. Okay. So you declared, I mean, the course with null. Okay. So that's why I'm saying, I mean, don't get confused. Whenever, I mean, you will be asked a question that, I mean, uh, you access the element, any element, button, checkbox, anything, uh, inside your constructor? No. And for that explanation, because I agree with you that, I mean, somebody can argue with you that you are getting null. That means there is something existence, right? So that's why, I told you that, I mean, just give them, with this explanation, what I just shared with you. Okay. So can we call, the apex method inside constructor? Yes, you can. But again, let me tell you, Salesforce don't recommend. Okay. Why? Because Salesforce says that, the component is not fully connected to the DOM, and calling the apex method inside the constructor can lead to error or any unpredictable behavior. Okay. So, let's say here, okay, we are calling a apex method fetch account. Now, this is, the class is available here. Okay. And this is the method. Simple. Okay. I will explain you this thing that how to, call the apex class inside the LWC. Don't worry. But I'm just showing you, demonstration that, can we call, so you won't get any error while deploying or, while adding the component. But as Salesforce says that this is not a right place to, they call the Apex class. Okay. You can call in the connected callback or re-enter callback. I mean, you can call, but Salesforce says as per best practices, you should avoid calling the Apex method inside the constructor. Why? Because, the component is not fully, the connected to the DOM, and can, give you the unexpected behavior, means, the unexpected result, not right result. Okay. So then you won't, when you will be not getting the right result, so you will be, facing the issue that, okay, where exactly I'm doing this mistake. Okay. See, there's a very thin layer in between what you are doing and what is, the Salesforce recommendation. So if Salesforce says no, then better, we should avoid, the doing anything which is not as per the Salesforce best practices. So you see here, some result is coming object. That is because we called this, uh, the Apex method inside the constructor. Okay. As I told you, I will explain you how to work with this. But right now, I'm just telling you what is feasible, what is not feasible inside the constructor, so that if you, if you get any interview question, you should be able to answer. Okay. Now, any question till here? Can we create and dispatch event in constructor? Somebody is typing something. Any question? So can we create and dispatch event in constructor? No, the answer is no. Okay. Again, the answer is that the component has been added to the DOM, and that's the reason there is a chances that when you will dispatch the event, it will fail. It may throw an error, or it may simply do nothing. Okay. So there is, the three possibilities. Either of the, either of the one can take place while, uh, dispatching the event from the constructor. So simply say, no. And the reason is it may throw an error, it may fail silently, or it may not do anything. You seem to, you keep trying dispatching the event, but nothing is happening. Okay. Let me show you. So I am, here, in the constructor, I am creating the event and I'm dispatching. As I told you, I will be covering this topic in detail, so don't bother about this. Okay. No need of this. In the parent component, I'm calling and I'm handling this event. So if if you go here, you actually, if the event will work correctly, you will see this, you will see this console log. Okay. So let me show you. Oh, it's already added here. Okay. Changes. See, the parent component, this is parent component. Okay. And you are seeing the constructor is getting fired of the child component. See here, right? But you're not seeing the console log of the parent component even listener method, right? So what if, I will do simply one thing. And instead of, I'm just showing you, that, see, this is workable, this is not workable. I'm just showing you. See here. So constructor fired, okay, of the child component. Inside the parent, I'm just, calling this, the parent, the child component, and I am handling this event. Okay. So in the JS, I am, in the event listener method, I am putting a console log here. Okay. And I am seeing that result here. Okay. How it works, actually, I will show you. Okay. For this code, you don't have to worry about. The code is available anytime for your debugging and understanding. Okay. So, as I said, it hasn't thrown any error, but it was simply failing. I mean, you were not getting the response when it was, when when you were dispatching this event, okay, inside your the constructor, but as you change to connected callback, it worked. Okay. Okay. Now, there is a one question which is actually very confusing among people, and they generally get confused. So I will be taking a reference of the Salesforce official document to answer this. And the question is, can you call Lightning UI API inside constructor? And answer is simply no. People, will give you the answer. Some people will say that yes, it will work. But let me give you, the very clear explanation. Uh, and using the Salesforce official document. Okay. So technically, it's possible to use the Lightning, Lightning UI API inside the lifecycle hooks. Okay. But imperatively. Okay. It's not actually recommended. And the which Salesforce official document says about this thing is this. Okay. So when, if you have to give the explanation to someone, simply say that, sir, please, sir, ma'am, please read this paragraph and you will get the answer. Okay. Let me, tell you what exactly this paragraph says. So basically, this Salesforce document explains that the wire adapters like Lightning UI API are only evaluated after the components, the fully loaded, right? Are you getting a point? Somebody is typing something. Hey, you can, you can simply, ask, unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay. So let me, let me, again, let me simply, repeat the answer. So the people will, this is actually very important question. Okay. So, don't get confused with what people says and how they explain. You have the official Salesforce documentation. Okay. So just tell them, that, sir, in this document itself, it's mentioned. Now, what this basically the paragraph says, that's what, I'm telling you. So, this particular Salesforce documentation, this particular, I will put this URL inside, the description and the GitHub repository. The Salesforce documentation, this particular documentation says that the wire adapters, okay, and the Lightning UI API itself, is a wire adapter, are only evaluated after the components configuration is complete, which happens after the constructor execution. Okay, means not while constructor is running, after the constructor lifecycle hook execution. Okay, this is why we should not use Lightning UI API inside the constructor. The component is not yet connected to the DOM. API and the wire values are not ready. Okay. And the data hasn't arrived. So instead of using the constructor, use connected callback for imperative cause, and class label wire for reactive data building. Okay. If you want, if you want the summary I can put for you. Okay. You can tell me and I will put it. Okay. But don't, go with the documentation where say, where, you will see the answer, the yes, 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 we can use. Again, I'm telling you, there's a thin layer in between what you can do and what is, what is recommended. Okay. Okay. Getting a point? All right. So can we use navigation service? Okay. Which is, the navigation, which, so simple answer is no. And the answer is, the reason is because constructor is too early in components life cycle. At this point, component is only being initialized. Please, or you can say instantiate. DOM is not yet initialized. Okay. Simple answer. Okay. So the questions are the are the genuine questions. Nothing will come outside these interview questions. Nothing will come outside this. Everything I have covered. Only thing is that you have to be sure that what you are answering. You have the proofs available. Okay, I will put everything on GitHub for you so that you can revise. We'll connect again in the next episode, and we'll talk about the errors, few errors, so that in case the you get the error in your project or interview, you can simply the answer them confidently. Thank you.